And a Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. So one of the chores we have to do in the winter, until we figure out a different method, is actually pulling the hose in and out every time we want to water the cows. It's not too bad, but it's got to be done. So far so good. Don't worry guys, only another 5 feet to go. So one of my new life goals too is to actually keep my garage shed as clean as the millennial farmer. You know how he has his floor like perfect all the time? It's amazing. I'm close, but not quite there yet. I think I need a bit more work. So one of the things I like to do with my equipment, especially stuff like this with a snowblower or the wood chipper, is actually put it on dollies. So I can move that around the garage anywhere I want. If I want to clean under it, I can move it. If I want to store it in a different place, I can move it. If the kids are playing hockey on one side here, I can move everything to the other side. It's really handy that way. It also allows me to hook up stuff a little quicker to the tractor because I don't have the quick attach hitch for the back yet. I want to get one, but right now it's still just a regular 3-point PTO. 3-point hitch. It's got the PTO too, but that's a little harder to hook up. So suddenly it's been really hard to push. I don't know why. So I took a look and I actually blew out a wheel. I think we're a little over the weight limit on that wheel. I'll have to get some new ones. So here's a little advice with the drawbar. It's really freaking heavy. So be careful putting it on and taking it off. I was putting it on the first time, put the pin in the one side, was fooling around with the other, it dropped out and smashed down on my little toe and broke it. So it looks really ugly now. So a couple things we need to do here is the hitch is way out back. We're going to unpin it and shove it up front so it's out of the way from everything. We've got to put the PTO shaft back on. This one actually has a quick attach, so it makes it really easy to go on. Once we get the sway bar arms onto the snowblower, then what we're going to actually do is adjust these chains here so the snowblower does not sway back and forth. If it starts to sway back and forth, what will happen is these chains will actually catch on the tire. It doesn't do much damage, but it's not good for it either. As you can see here, the chute is hydraulic. It will actually spin, rotate. I can put the nozzle up and down to where I want to throw the snow. So you have to hook up your hydraulics to the back of the tractor. One way you can do it is actually put on marking tape on the hydraulics too, so you know which levers are going to activate which thing. I'll usually just wing it, and then, you know, once you start snowblowing, you kind of get used to which way things are going. It's not a big deal for a snowblower like this because, you know, if you pull a lever and it goes left and the next year you pull it and it goes right, it doesn't hurt anything. You just have to get used to it. So this snowblower is the Frontier SB1164. The opening is about 5 feet. I believe it's just over 5 feet. And I think it's the biggest one that'll go on this tractor, which is the 2032R. I really like this. It's really nice having the hydraulic options as well. If you're getting a snowblower and you can afford to get the hydraulic option for the chute, do it. It makes a big difference. Otherwise, what happens is say you're going down the driveway here, the car's in the way, or the house is in the way. Each time you go past it, you've got to change the chute. So you want to, you know, throw it that way, and then you throw it this way. So the hydraulics makes it very easy to do. Here's a little hint too. When you take your pins out, inside the arms, there's a little ring. Take your pin and drop it in the ring. That'll keep it where you'll remember it. All right, so we've got the arms hooked on. Next thing I'm going to do is actually just move the snowblower to kind of the center of the tractor, and then I'll tighten up the sway arms. Well, that looks pretty good to me. Let's get those arms tightened up. So there's a little nut here. That keeps it from actually moving when you don't want it to. And you just twist it. This one's really loose. Sometimes you'll have to use a tool to turn it. So there we go. That's pretty snug. We'll get that nut back down, and we'll actually grab some pliers and then just snug that up against here. Try not to do that. That always hurts. One of the features I love about this John Deere is this shield actually raises up. Makes it very easy to access the PTO. Before we put the PTO on though, we're going to grease it up. Make sure it's all good to go for the winter. Ooh, accessing that one kind of sucks, eh? Well, not really. Look at that. Ta-da! So this one actually has a collar here. You just pull the collar back, slide it on, and you're good to go. So right here it looks like the snowblower is tilted back a bit. And just because it's me and my OCD and that sort of thing, what I'm going to do, I'll turn the tractor on, lift up the arms a bit, and try and get that straight up and down. I don't know if it really makes a huge difference, but it makes a difference in my brain. Well, that looks better to me. So now what we're going to do, since that's kind of squared up, we're going to put our arm on. So it's going to go from up here back to the tractor here. Now if this is your first time ever using a snowblower, what you want to do is go into the hardware store right away and get a whole bunch of these little guys right here. These are called shear bolts. And what'll happen is if you get a rock or newspaper or branch or something stuck in the auger back here, this will actually break before anything back there does. So you'll probably go through about, I want to say 3 a season, because you'll hit ice chunks, you'll hit dog bones, you'll hit kids' toys. So there's one there, and then on the other side, there's one down here as well. It just helps protect your equipment from being damaged. So those bolts break before anything else does. So now that our upper arm's on there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it up. I'll put the covers back on. This one's got a little kickstand here. I'll lift that up out of the way. I'll get the hydraulics hooked up, and then we'll go from there. So if I remember correctly, you want your same thing. So say the nozzle at the end of the chute, you want it in the same color. And now what I'm going to do is the rotating of the chute, I'm going to put it in the same color, the two green ones. So if you mix them up and put one in one color, one in a different color, I don't think it hurts anything. You're just going to be using two different levers, maybe. Or it might not work at all. But that's why you turn it on and test it before you try and operate it. So now that that's all hooked up, I'm going to go around, grease everything up, lube everything up, make sure it's in good working order, and then we'll turn the tractor on and test the hydraulics on the chute. Well guys, that's about it. Everything works the way I want it to. The chute's working good. When I pull the lever back, it goes up, and down, it goes down. So that's kind of actually what I was aiming for. So that's perfect. The only thing left to do for me is I'm going to grab a zip tie and just gather up these hydraulic hoses just so they're not hanging around by the PTO. So guys, I hope you found that useful, and if you have any questions about either the tractor or the snowblower or even the wood chipper in there, let me know in the comments. I'll be sure to answer them, and if I don't know the answer, I'll definitely try and find you someone who does. So thanks again guys. Get down there, hit that like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps us out a lot. So now I'm just gonna go in, maybe have another coffee, and wait for some snow to fall. Take care, guys. Love ya.